Radioactive radiation, such as alpha radiation, beta radiation, and gamma ray, are used in various fields in daily life. In archaeology and geochronology, radioactive radiation plays off an important role. Carbon dioxide in the air is made up of carbon 12, which is stable, and carbon 14, which is radioactive. As the body of living things absorb and release carbon dioxide, the percentage of carbon 14 in the tissues of organisms is fixed. And as soon as the organisms die, the amount of carbon 14 in the tissues begins to decline because they decay by emitting beta radiation with a half-life of 5,700 years. The age of the remains can be determined by measuring the activity of carbon 14. This method is known as carbon 14 dating, which is widely used to determine the age of fossils and artifacts. In industrial, radioactive radiation is used in a thickness control device to monitor the thickness of metal sheets in factories. When the device detects too much beta radiation, it means that the metal sheet is too thin.
For agriculture, the rate at which beta radiation emitted during the nuclear decay of phosphorus-32 is used to determine the absorption rate of phosphate fertilizer in plants. Radioactive radiation is also used to control pests and modify characteristics of plants. Radioactive substances is popularly known to be used in the field of defense, most knowingly the nuclear bomb. Explosion of a nuclear bomb releases heat and radioactive radiation that can destroy almost all living things including humans, and its effects will last for generations. Gamma rays are also preservation of food such as fruit to kill bacteria in the food. That have been preserved with gamma rays will be labeled with the Radura logo.
Radioactive radiation are very important in health. Gamma rays from cesium-137 or cobalt-60 are used to kill cancer cells. These radiations are also used to determine the location of blood clots using sodium-24, treat tumors with technetium-99, destroy germs using cobalt-60, and treat thyroid glands using iodine-131. Moving on how to handle radioactive substances and radioactive waste safely and properly. The negative effects of radioactive radiations towards human health makes it dangerous to be touched. Thus, it must only be handled by one when wearing protective clothing. Other than that, robotic hands are also used to handle radioactive radiation safely and prevent human contact. To store the radioactive sources or radioactive waste, use containers with very thick lead walls to prevent any skin contact. The substances are also shielded with thick slabs of lead. And lastly, to detect the dose rate of radioactive radiation absorbed into the body, one must use detectors such as radiation badges. At the end of the day, humanity must appreciate how important radioactive radiation is for the modern world.